the Music Dreams USA Radio Artist Spotlight. And yes, we got our artist back. Miss Kelly Williams is back in the house. What's up, Miss Kelly? How you doing?
Hi. Sorry about this.
Oh, you're fine. That happens all the time. So we're just so super excited to have you on our show. So thank you for taking time out to be with us on our show. So let's pick up where we left off on our interview here. What or who inspires you as it relates to the music industry?
Oh, I would say that it has inspired me the most watching her career is Lori McKenna, writer, and just her background story of her as a mom. I think she has 5 kids when her kids were younger at her kitchen table and started playing out. So watching what she's been able to do and accomplish, and some of the songs like Tim McGraw with Humble and Kind. I know Faith Hill's cut some of her stuff. So I would say she's inspired me watching her.
What song was the most difficult for you to write?
Wow, that's a hard question. I don't know. I can't pick a specific, but I would say and sometimes just with a couple of lines and they don't really know where they're going, those more. I have to really, it takes me longer to kind of process where the songs that are easier to write are the ones where I have an immediate idea for the hook of the song. Those write much easier. So really pick a song.
Let me ask you this is one thing that I've always wondered about musical artists. I mean, you guys write so many different songs. When you're on stage, how do you remember all the words to those songs? Is there a trick, or is it just like a talent, or what is it that allows you guys to remember the words and the melodies of those songs?
For me, and now that I'm in my 40s, almost 50, I have an iPad. All my songs, on the set list, and I do my best to I practice that I've put up, for the night I'm performing. I practice them enough that they are preparing, but there's always that chance you're just gonna, it happens. I've seen the pros do it. So for me, it's like having a safety net to help, but practice is key.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And what have been some of your musical highlights thus far in your career?
Oh, wow. Was in 2020, I took a workshop with Susie Bogus in Nashville, and the workshop we got to sing at the Bluebird Cafe. So that was pretty special. I don't think I've ever been that nervous in my life, but it was pretty. That was probably one of the biggest highlights. Yeah.
If you had like one place, if you had one venue that you would love to go to perform, where would it be and why?
Well, a lot of people probably say this. I'm confident enough. The Ryman would be pretty special in Nashville. I got to see my first show there just this last year when I was this EP, and I saw Jason Isbell there, and it was pretty special. So I think that would be it.
Awesome. So as far as your musical career, where you are right here and now, what does that look like? And are you looking to go on tour? Are you still writing some songs? Where are you right now in your musical career?
Well, I really see myself as a touring artist. I started recording music but to get my songs out there. I consider myself a songwriter more than a performing artist. I never would, but I think to me, I was like, nobody's going to hear my music in the world. It'd be a dream if another artist ever wanted to cut one of my, something like that. And, I'm trying to get more into co-writing, hoping that magic may happen when you write with someone else. So I'm just taking it slow, doing things like this, getting my music out on radio, trying to interview, and just what I'm doing. So, well,
That's awesome.
Yeah, see where it takes me. I don't know.
Well, I got a really cool story to share with you.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons why we do artist spotlights, and this is just being shooting straight from the hip. We promote upcoming aspiring artists just like yourself, right? And we had an artist. Her name was Lee Newton, and she's from up in North Carolina. One day, she was driving around and she was listening to our radio station, and she reached out to us, and she asked if she could send in some of her music. Well, sure enough, we gave her the information. She sent in her music, and I was like blown away. Just like when we heard your song, I was totally blown away. I'm like, oh my God, you have so much talent. That's such a powerful song. It's a song that people can relate to, and we felt the same way with Lee, right? And I share this with you because I kind of like see you in the same boots that she was in when you first started back into your career. So we played her music, and just like we're doing right now, we did a live interview with her on the radio. And would you not believe that a musical manager from Nashville was watching our show? Once the show was over, they reached out to her and they said, "Hey, I just saw your interview, blah blah blah, and we'd love to have you come down to Nashville, and we would love for you, to maybe do some stuff with us." Well, one thing led to another, and now her musical career has totally blossomed. She's so talented, and
Wow.
she went the extra mile, and so never give up on your dreams. And as I mentioned, once the show is over, we're going to send you a link, and you just go ahead and you just send out this interview to all your social media outlets. You never know who's watching, you never know who's listening, you never know who's gonna is gonna want to take advantage of your experience. So yeah, definitely, I share that with you because I kind of feel like that's the same way that you are too, with the way Lee started out.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got great talent there, and never give up. And one thing about the music industry, you know, they, you've, I'm sure you've heard the term, right? If you knock on the door will open, right? Well, unfortunately, in the music industry, sometimes it takes several doors to knock on before one will open for you. Just stay focused, and follow your dreams and keep on knocking on those doors, and it's going to happen for you. One day your door will open. I promise you it will.
Thank you so much. I appreciate.
So with that being said, do you have any advice for aspiring musicians just like yourself? Someone who's maybe watching this video right now, who will be watching the video maybe in the future. What advice would you share with those upcoming aspiring artists that maybe want to get to where you are right now in your musical career?
Well, work hard at your craft. Find your people who support you, encourage you. Find your voice that is unique to you, okay? And don't try to chase what other people are doing, but do what's authentic to you. And just don't let your fear and that inner critic that we all hold you back.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. With the music industry as it stands today, do you like it? You don't like it? And if you were the president of the day for the music industry, what is one thing that you would change and why?
Well, I think it's pretty writers are paid for their craft. I think that's got to change. Streaming, an artist, what artists and songwriters get paid per stream is pretty bad. I think there's beauty in the current music business with streaming. People wouldn't normally have the opportunity to put their music out there, so that's great. yeah, I think what people are paid for it, it needs to.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing you say then is like, the pay per play, we like to call it. You
Yeah.
feel like that should be more, or they should be getting paid more. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah, I agree with you. I
Yeah.
mean, because if you think about it, right? I mean, this is your livelihood, right? You're writing music to make a living, to put food on the table for your family. So I do agree with you on that, but one thing I don't like, especially with us being a radio station, right? We own 100% of our music, but yet, there's companies out there that want to charge us to play the music, even though we have already purchased the music, 100% own the rights to that music. I mean, what are your thoughts about that? Do you think that's fair? Where so let me give you an example, right? We go out, we buy your song, right? And
Hmm.
we pay, say you charge $5 for the song. We pay the $5, and in my opinion, we own the rights to that song. And if we own the rights to that song, we should have the ability to play that song wherever we want to play it. Would you agree or disagree with that statement?
The music business is very confusing to me, so I really can't speak to that right now, how all of that works. So I really can't. I don't have an apologize. I feel like I still have a lot of learning to do about.
Right. Gotcha. All right, that's fair enough. And so when people listen to your music, what is the message that you're trying to get out to them?
I think I'm just trying to touch on a lot of that we all experience, whether it's loss or a breakup or the past, our children, just things that we all every day and face. I just want to, even if it's just the basic mundane stuff of daily life, just the smallest moments in our life are really important, and I want to.
Have you ever been in a band?
I have I have put together a small band to play with me before, but I've never been no. I've just I had musicians I pulled together to help me. I think that'd be fun at some point, but I've never
Yeah.
really had that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, you got such a great voice, and sometimes just a matter of networking and get your name out there and let people know what you do. And I mean, as I mentioned with this song, I mean, it just totally blew us away. And we're like, my boss, like, yeah, get her on the interviews. We're gonna interview her, and we're gonna play her song. And
So
it's that sometimes it's really that simple. Where I mean, before that, we didn't know who you were or what the song was, but it was all about about the networking and the connections, right? And so it
yeah,
definitely would encourage you. I mean, you got a great voice, and
thank
you
you.
got an amazing talent. Maybe just put an ad out there. If there's any bands looking for vocalists, or another thing that you know, even like with Queen, right? The lead singer for
Yeah,
Queen, I'm sure Freddie Mercury, right? What did he do? He went to the
yeah,
bar, and he actually watched Queen play. They already had a lead singer in place, but then one thing led to another, and he stayed persistent, and he stayed close to them, and before you knew it, they gave him the opportunity, and once he got on stage, the Queen became a super band. And
yeah,
sometimes it's a matter of doing that, right? Just getting your face in front of other people to let them know what you do. And
yeah.
I would encourage you to do that. I mean, you got such a great talent, great song, and I can see you doing that. I really can. And it does. That's one thing we love about our show is that we get the opportunity to meet some really special people. I'll see you being one of those. So,
Oh,
um,
thank you so much.
yeah, you're welcome. And I'm hoping that maybe some of the advice and things that we give you here today, maybe one of those or a few of those things are going to help you get you on track and get you where you need to be. And that I can see you on stage one day performing in front of
Oh,
like thousands of people. I can see that happening.
oh, thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. So where are you based right now? And what are some of the things you actually do to get your music out right now?
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. Just play locally here right now. Um, and basically, I've been using Facebook and Instagram, and I built my own website to kind of promote my. I have connections. I've been part of a songwriters group that's international, overseas. So through those networks, I've met some different. I'm going to work with on my next single out of the UK. She's going to help do some. I'm just trying different things through different people I've met to see. So Pete, I tried Pete with this because he's been so supportive and awesome. So yeah, I've just met a lot of really cool people who've been helping me.
Yeah, especially if you're in Atlanta. I mean, we're not that far from Atlanta. We have our studios in actually South Carolina as well. And
Yeah.
so, another thing we could do is like, if once you get things situated, definitely get back in contact with us because we can go
Okay.
right to your event and we can stream live and we can do interviews before, during, and after your concert. So that's a few other things that we could do for you as well,
Okay. Cool.
especially Atlanta. Atlanta's a big music town, and so it's just a matter again, just getting your name out there. Maybe just go and visit some of the venues,
Yeah.
and you get in front of people, let them know what you do, and and I can really see your opportunity coming to you. Absolutely. So, as
Thanks.
we wind down our interview here today on Music Dreams USA Radio, how can fans get in contact with you, whether it's to do a gig or whether it's to purchase your music or whatever the case may be? How can we get in contact with you?
Well, they can visit music.com, and there's links on there to my Spotify, Apple. I try to post when I'm playing. I'll put that on there under shows. Out through me that way through email too. Um, I'm on all the streaming. Facebook is Kelly Williams Music. That's my Facebook page, and same on underscore Williams Music on Instagram. So they can follow me.
That's awesome. What are some final thoughts you'd like to share with our listeners?
Um, I'm just so grateful for people who are listening and enjoying. If anyone wants to, they can follow me on Spotify. That always helps kind of boost things, like especially on Spotify. The more followers you have, and it helps you potentially get on bigger playlists. Which gets your music out. So, yeah, I'm just grateful for all the supportive people. I've met so many. It's been wonderful.
How has your sound evolved over the years? You mentioned,
My
you started early and so on and so forth. What does that look like as we speak today?
my sound, is that what you asked?
Yes. Hmm.
It's funny, my sound. I think I wasn't necessarily trying to emulate anyone when I write or with my sound, but I think I've always gravitated kind of to the. I love fiddle and mandolin and slide guitar and all that. So kind of were big influences on how my sound. But my new music, I've towards the folk side. So yeah, I think that's going away, maybe not completely away from country, but a little more towards the folk. Um, we'll see. I feel like I just kind of I'd go. So
Let me ask you this. So, let's play a little make believe here. So, you're on stage right now. You're in front of thousands of people. How do you read a crowd, and how do you keep the crowd engaged and keep the energy going? Are there some tricks you use, or what does that look like for you when you're on stage?
I do people and kind of try to read how they're interacting, and I want to draw people into the story. To me, the lyrics is the most important thing. So sometimes to kind of work more on my dynamics and try to bring the music down a little and read the words. And I've found that to be working more when the dynamics of how I'm performing and yeah, but mainly hearing the lyrics and then that's pulling them in. Sometimes I feel like softer is better than really full force, you know?
Right. Now, do you ever get
Yeah.
nervous when you're on stage? Do you ever get nervous? If so, what are some things you do to get past that nervousness?
I used to get more nervous than I do now, but it up onto stage, and then sometimes once I'm up there in front of people, I kind of calm. I try just to connect with people as best I can, and there's something uh, they're friends who are just there to watch and support me, you know, and I feel like I'm able to focus on what I'm doing. Sometimes it's easier than others, but focus on my breathing and feeling grounded where I am. So that.
Awesome. I'm going to give you a Russell K special. I went to the Columbia School of Broadcasting, right? And I will
Uh-huh.
never forget when I went to the Columbia School of Broadcasting, our instructor told us one thing. He said, when you stand in front of a very large crowd, what I want you to do is look at the crowd before you go live, look at the crowd and pick out one person that you feel that you could connect with. And we're all looking at him like,
Okay.
what is he talking about? That's kind of crazy, right? And he goes, I want you to pick one person and pick that person to be someone who's very close to you in your life right now, whether it's your mom, your dad, your husband, whoever. And when you're on stage, I want you to connect with that person. And when you're performing, just stay focused on that person. And if you do that, it's going to block out everything else. It's going to allow you to be the best that you can be,
Yeah,
and then it'll you get you over from being nervous. So, what do you think about that? Would you agree with that philosophy or not?
I would say that definitely makes sense, and I think I do a little bit of that because I can tell it's really engaged with what I'm doing. It kind of helps me. Oh, if I've moved one person, then I've done my job. You know, it's just to make people feel something, and if I can tell somebody's feeling what I'm doing, then it's been a good night. So
That's awesome. So let me ask you this:
yeah.
are you playing anywhere right now, or are you in the future going to be playing somewhere where people could come and see you and support you?
There's a place called Mad Life in Woodstock, Georgia. And on February 1st, be part of a songwriters round. So I'm one of three. So I think we'll each do about 6 to 7 songs. So the ticket. So that's my next big thing.
Wow, that'd be awesome. Well, good luck with that. And as we wind down our interview here, is there anything that we didn't cover that you would like to cover right now to share with our audience?
I can't think of anything. I just look forward to putting out the new music. I have songs total that I'm planning on releasing. This is the first, Without You. My next one will be, I think, February 24th, whatever that Friday is in February. I'm just looking forward to putting the new stuff out and hope it resonates with people.
Absolutely. Well, I can tell you that our listeners love your song, and so thank you so much for sharing that song with us, and thank you for your time today. And we definitely wish you all the best as you move forward in your musical career. And we're also going to be here for you. So don't be a stranger. If there's anything you need,
Okay.
please make sure you can always reach out to Music Dreams USA Radio Worldwide. And until then, you take care of yourself. And thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you for having me. It was nice
You're
talking with you.
welcome.
Okay.
Nice talking to you as well. And that was Miss Kelly Williams, and she's based in Atlanta, Georgia. She's an upcoming aspiring artist, and we were so excited to have her on our show today. And make sure you check her out. Go to Kelly Williams Music on Facebook, and let's show her some love and some support. And again, it's your friend Russell K. And if you're an upcoming aspiring artist, you want to be in our show, it's quite simple. All you got to do is just send your music to info.musicdreamsusa@gmail.com. We are being brought to you by Music Dreams USA Radio, your home for Fox Sports and football fanatics and the best mix of the 70s, 80s, 90s, and country. We'll see you again soon on our next show. Until then, you take care, have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching.